This video explains the child support what if feature in family law software. This is a great feature that allows you to ask what if with respect to parties' wages, with respect to overnights, with respect to maintenance, health insurance, child care expenses, and see what the impact of changing one of those things or many of those things would be on the child support result. And you can do all this without touching the actual child support numbers. So let's see how it works. First, we click on Negotiate and pick Support What If. That brings us to this screen here. In the column that you see, the actual numbers will be displayed, and actually changing one of these numbers will change the actual child support numbers. Now let's click Add Scenario. What we get is a copy of the actual numbers, and now we can say, all right, what if the overnights, instead of being 0 with Pat, were 100 with Pat? I click Enter, and I see instantly at the top what child support would be if there were 100 overnights with Pat. Now I can add another scenario by clicking the Add Scenario button, and I get another scenario which is a copy of our actual scenario. But let's say I want to build off scenario 1. Then I can click this Copy button at the top, and I say I want to copy from scenario 1. Now I have a copy of scenario 1, and I want to go with the 100 overnights and say, well, what if all of this were the same as it was, but Pat's gross wage were $15,000 instead of $20,000, and I see at the top the child support would then be $234 instead of $243. And I can continue by clicking the Add Scenario button and make as many of these scenarios as I like. Now let's suppose that I want to show my client only the actual and scenario 2. How do I do that? Well, I can swap the columns. So let's swap scenario 2 with scenario 1. And then I can remove scenario 2. And now I have just the 2 scenarios I want to show my client ready to print. And I can click the PDF button at the top here and print them. And finally, let's suppose that I have made my changes in scenario 1 and I think, you know what, that's the scenario I want to become our actual scenario. I just swap with the actual data, and now scenario 1 has become the actual scenario. And I want to preview that. I just click the PDF button here, and I see what that scenario would look like printed out. If I now change my mind and I want to go back, I can just swap again. And now my original actual data is restored and is still the actual data, and my scenario 1 is listed in the scenario 1 column. And that's the child support what if in family law software. Thanks for watching.